Joining us now is Mr. Karl Schilling. He's the founder of the Advocacy Network. We're here to talk about something a little bit different this week, aren't we, Karl?
Yes, yes, Don. I'm very excited about it. I'm very excited about this too.
Well, you have a podcast and you're getting into the media business. Tell us about it.
Yeah, I'm starting a podcast which just launched, and it's called 10 Minutes to Change Your Mind. Don, as you know, for a long time, I've been a student of the science of the creative mind. And it goes back, I'll tell you a quick story. It goes back for me. My mother, when I was 14 years old, she gave me the Power of Positive Thinking by Norman Vincent Peale. The first book I ever read with that kind of, outlook, mindset. And it helped me from a confidence point of view. I was a young ball player at that time, playing baseball, basketball. And that book helped me a lot to find my own kind of self-image, and my own steps. And then, I got used to that kind of, that kind of background, those kind of books, right? So I started reading Ernest Holmes, Creative Mind, Waddles, The Science of Getting Rich, right? And then around 1984, I was a struggling life insurance agent, and I was selling life insurance so that I could coach, really, because I coached baseball and I couldn't have a 9-to-5 job. So in the midst of that struggle, it was very frustrating. I got 2 books in that time. One was Frank Bettger. It was How I Raised Myself from Failure to Success. And that was a classic book. And Think and Grow Rich. And in Think and Grow Rich, Napoleon Hill spoke of making this goal setting sheet for yourself, right? This application. And I did it. And it was like, by this time and such a date, I will have accumulated, in my case, $86,000. I never made more than 30 at that point. And I will do this by, it'll come to me from time to time, and I will do this by providing the service of professional life insurance and helping people in their families. Anyway, I read that every day. I got up, I read that every day. Things started happening, just kind of serendipitously, things that you would call coincidence. And that year, Don, I earned $119,000. Never even would have considered that, at that point. So it was even more. So I came to the realization that the power of your mind is a real thing. It's a very, very realistic deal where you can manifest your, the things you want in life. You can't snap your fingers and do it, but you can definitely follow a pathway to doing this. And that's what I want to get out to people in the podcast.
Well, you're absolutely right. I'm a big believer in the positive affirmations, power of positive thinking. Now, take us through a typical episode. What kind of people are you going to be talking to?
Well, right now, we mainly, each episode, first of all, it's only 10 minutes, right? So it's a 10-minute show. It's modeled after Earl Nightingale years ago had a radio show, a 5-minute radio show called Your Changing World. And he took all those little shows and he compiled them into Lead the Field, which was that classic, Earl Nightingale. So 3 days a week, it's going to be me sharing content, whether that's, books we can read or information from certain books, how to do a journal, how to make sure you're doing these things on a daily basis, that kind of work. And then 2 days a week is interviews. And I'm happy to say that next week I'm going to be interviewing you. So with everybody watching, you get to see Don on the other side of this. You get to hear Don coming from the seat where he has to answer questions. So I'm looking forward to that. I'm looking forward to that, Don. So I try to interview people who have an impact, entrepreneurs, thought leaders, and how these principles have been around their life, because they don't speak about it, but for most of people, it has been part of their life, if they're successful.
26 years ago when I started MoneyTV, people asked me, what's your goal? And I said, I want to be the CNBC of small cap companies, which we've been successful in doing. What's your ultimate goal for the podcast?
Well, my goal is to get reach as many people as humanly possible with this message because, you know, Don, what's frustrating to me, I've been around the business world now in sales and even coaching. I've been around this for 45 years and I've seen very little change in people, you know, I mean, statistically, right? You know, 95% of the population continues to be financially dependent at best. Only 5% reach financial independence. People tend to have the same grievances. They have the same complaints. They have the same miserable victimization, you know, in their lives. Okay. So my goal is if I can only change one person a day, it would be phenomenal. But my goal is to reach as many people as humanly possible, have them realize that the power is in their own mind. And that if they take control of that, they can literally change their entire environment. They can change everything around them and they can have what they want. They can have the success they truly believe in.
Well, with everything going on right now, all the issues and challenges we're facing, I would imagine your message is going to fall on receptive ears.
From your lips to God's ears, I hope so. But again, I'm very excited about it because it builds in, it lends itself to everything else we've been trying to do. You know, and I've been kind of, you know, piecemealing this, but I decided instead of piecemealing it, it's time to just go out there and let people hear it from the bottom up.
Well, your
You know,
wisdom
and
has
get the
always
whole.
been appreciated on the program here over the years that we've had you on the show. What's the name of the podcast again, and how can people find you?
Okay, the name of the podcast is 10 Minutes to Change Your Mind. Right now, you can find me on Anchor. Okay, you can go out and Google Anchor, or you can find me on Spotify. And as we grow, and I'm looking for everybody to come in. Believe me, just come in, listen once, and check it out. Subscribe, cost you nothing. And as we grow, we'll get on the bigger platforms. We'll get on the Apple and, you know, Apple's platform and other things. But right now, Spotify, very easily found on Spotify. Just look me up either way, Karl Schilling or 10 Minutes to Change Your Mind.
10 minutes to change your mind. Great advice. Karl, always a pleasure having you on the program. Good luck with your
You too.
podcast.
Thank you so much, Don. Look forward to hearing from you next week.